Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy 2021. I'm sorry, 2022. Happy 2022, everybody. This is your girl, Stephanie A. Wynn. And it's a new year. It's the second week of January, and I am super excited. I wanted to come on and talk about some things today, um, specifically for my business owners who have New Year's resolutions or New Year goals, and you're wanting to just figure out where you are with your business and with your customers. So this topic today, I'm going to leave you with 3 tips today. So invite your friends, tag, share. Today, I want to talk about 3 tips when customers cannot afford your price. I get a lot of questions. I've gotten a lot of questions over the last 2 weeks about pricing, services, how to price your services. Some people may be underpricing their products or services. And so today I want to talk about 3 tips when customers cannot afford your price. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that when customers just cannot afford your price or they just choose to go somewhere else. You have to be all right with that. So we're going to get right into it. For those that are tuning in, if you're catching this on the replay, hit hashtag replay. I want to serve you today. And I want to give a shout out to someone on Facebook said, hello, Stephanie. So hold on, guys. Let me um, see here. I'm going to tune in from my Jeff Short. Hi, Jeff. How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay, so let's get started. So I want to give you guys something really cool. Number one, we're going to talk about the 3 tips when customers cannot afford your price. So number one, do not get offended. Do not get offended when your customers or potential clients cannot afford your price. Just don't get offended. Just do not get offended. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. That's the first things first. First things first, do not get offended. And the reason why I say that is because they just may not be your client, right? They may not be the people who that fits your business model, and you have to be okay with that, right? So again, number one, I want to talk about, and actually, it's going to be more than just 3 tips of when customers cannot afford your price, but the first things first, I want you to think about, get in your mind, do not get offended if they cannot afford your price. That's the first thing, right? Number two, I want you to create a list of simple questions to ask these potential clients before you start, um, you know, onboarding them, right? Or you get them in your pipeline. You should create a list of simplistic questions, and those questions should be somewhere around like, you know, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? What's keeping you from accomplishing this very thing? And how is this thing that's keeping you from accomplishing what's the problem? Like, why aren't you accomplishing these things? So pretty much like the who, what, when, and where, and why, that type of thing, right? So I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching Facebook. Nikki, Eric, I see Tisha. Tisha, thank you for tuning in. Jeff, happy new year to everybody. So again, don't get frustrated when customers cannot afford your price. That was the first thing. Do not get offended. If they can't afford your price, they can't afford your price. Hey, Latasha, that's my business bestie. So cannot get offended, right? Do not get offended. That's the first things first. Number two, create a list of simple questions. You should be asking questions when you're onboarding or potential have consultations or discovery calls. You should be doing something like asking them like first, like, what is it that you're wanting to accomplish? What's getting in the way? And, you know, only for your business model if this person is a good fit. And oftentimes, I'm going to get into this afterwards, a little bit later, but oftentimes we'll get into something or we'll onboard a client just for the sake of getting a sale. I've been there. And then it ends up not working out because maybe it wasn't a good fit. Maybe you didn't ask the right questions, right? So number three, You have to ask yourself. So this is really like the question. This is like number one of the three tips, right? Is this your ideal client? Do you know who your ideal client is? That's something that you should know before you start promoting your products or services. You should have an ideal client avatar. You should know who that is. Like I have two. Mine is their name is Sam. One is a female, one is a male. Sam, by the way, is my dad. But Sam is an author or aspiring author who does not have an author brand, who needs a brand, right? And Sam needs to get in front of her ideal audience, right? She doesn't know who her audience is. What's happening here? Oh, okay. So she needs to get Sam needs to get in front of her audience. And so Sam number two, the male, Sam is a business owner. He has a business, but he doesn't have a business brand. Same thing. You have a business, but there's no brand because nobody knows that you exist, right? So you need to know who, like, is this your ideal client? Like, who are the people? These are the people who are most likely to buy into what you're selling. So think about that. Hey, Jay. All right. So, number four, do you believe in your price? So, these are three tips when customers cannot not afford your price. So, I'm asking this question because do you believe in the prices that you're charging? Like, do you believe in it? Do you believe that the price that you're charging is of value? I'm just saying, like, the prices that you charge, are they of value to this person? So whatever it is that you're selling, whether it's a product or a service, are you delivering on it? And if you're delivering on it, what is that experience like? Like, is it like really good value? Just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. So we talk about, like, do you believe in your price? Your price is your price. Your price is your price. And I want to talk about pricing because a lot of us, specifically me, when I started my ice cream shop, I underpriced myself. I was young. I was 23. I had such a passion for starting a business. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know. All I know is that I wanted to start this ice cream shop. All I know is I wanted to start this business. What I did was I did my market research. I went and visited other ice cream parlors in my area to see what the pricing was. I compared the pricing, but what I did was I wanted to create an experience. So when people came through my doors and they brought their children in to get ice cream, there was an experience like no other, right? And I believed in it so much that the people believed in it. And so that's why I asked, do you believe in your price? Do you believe in the product or the service that you're delivering? Do you believe in what it is that you are providing for your audience, right? So the minute that you don't believe in your product or service is when you will lose your audience. And what I mean by that is, if you don't believe enough in your business, your brand, your product, or your services, how do you expect the audience that you say is your ideal client to believe enough in you to buy what you're selling? Does that make sense? So give me a thumbs up if you agree. If you're tuning in live, I'm just saying, like, we got to do better. You got to believe in what it is that you're producing. You got to believe in what you're selling. If you don't believe in it, and you got to show up, you have to show up, even when you don't want to show up, right? So, do you believe in your price? I'm just saying, you got to believe in your price. So, number five, are you okay with no? Are you okay with being told no, right? You got to be okay with no. We're going to get many no's. I've been on this earth for 45 years. And no, I love it when I get a no because that makes me go a little bit more harder than ever before, right? And so, no does not necessarily mean it's not going to happen. No just is probably saving you from a disaster. So think about, like, not everybody should be coming through your programs. If you have products, not everybody should be purchasing your products, right? Because everybody may not want your product or your service. So you got to be all right with no. You have to be okay with no. And once you get okay with no, then guess what? You can you can keep it moving because that yes is right around the corner. So remember, you got to be okay with no. And if you are not okay with no, you got to learn how to. No does not mean it's the end all be all. No just mean that maybe God was saving you from something. He's preparing you for something bigger and greater, right? So no doesn't mean it, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to just cancel the business. I'm going to start something else. No. No may mean it's not the time right now. And sometimes we get so hyped up about, we see other people on social media doing things and making moves. It appears like they're making moves, and they may be making moves, right? I'm not saying that they're not, but you can't base your no on what other people are doing, because your business is your business, your price is your price, your product is your product, your service is your service. Does that make sense? All right, let's move right along. So the next one is question I have that I want to ask you. Like, are you, let me see how I can hide this. All right. Are you reducing your price just to get a sale? Jay said, who knows how many times that they heard the word no? Absolutely. Yes. So my question is, I'm asking these next two questions I'm asking is, are you reducing your price just to get a sale? I mean, I've done that. I've done that, like, just to get a sale, because you feel like, gosh, I got to get this sale because I got to eat, right? Or I need to pay bills, right? But that sale may become a disaster. It might be the worst thing ever, right? Specifically, I'm talking to my service-based businesses now. It becomes a headache, right? Because now, you brought them into your pipeline and you delivered. But for some reason, people feel like, I'm paying you this amount. I have access to you. I have access. I need to be able to contact you anytime I feel like I can contact you. And no, you have to set the tone. Do not reduce your price just to get the sale. Your price is your price, and you have to believe in that price, right? You must believe in that price. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it costs. You can't go to Nike or Polo or any of the high-end Gucci, Louis Vuitton. You're not haggling those people on their price. You either going to pay or you're going to get out of their store. I'm just saying, like, you either going to pay or you get out of their store or you go to jail, right? So again, don't reduce your price just to get the sale. And how many people, if for those that are listening live, how many of you have reduced your price just to get a sale in your business? I'm just saying, I've been there. I've done it. I remember when I had a cleaning business shortly after my ice cream shop, and I had two contracts. One was a church and a daycare center. And I believe I shorted myself on that contract because I was so anxious about getting this contract that it became a headache, because they nickel they nickel and dime you, like it was everything, like they want you to do this, they want you to do that, but that wasn't a part of the contract. That's when I learned how to write contracts. That's when I learned how to itemize the detail in a contract, because sometimes we will go and copy these templates, these contract templates, and not knowing what we're putting in the contract. So when we bring somebody on board or we get a client, we forget the most important part. That's why it's important when you have a service-based business that you need to have your contract covered. That includes everything around your pricing, everything around how you're going to deliver the services, right? Everything on all the way down to the hours of operations, right? Even the arbitration. If something goes wrong, you need to have that in writing. So again, are you reducing your price just to get a sale, right? I see a lot of authors out here selling their books for free just to get somebody to do a review, or just to become Amazon #1 bestseller. That's all good and everything, but why would you discount your book if you believe in your book? That doesn't make sense. God doesn't want us to discount anything. Your book, your price is your price, and you got to believe in that. And so a lot of times we get, well, what if, why would somebody buy this very thing from me? Well, you put it out there for the world, and there's somebody that's waiting on your story. There's somebody that's waiting on your service. There's somebody's waiting on your product. There's somebody's waiting on your brand. So again, stop reducing your price just to get the sale. Be clear on your price and believe in it, right? So that's my next one, right? The next one is, um, are you clear on your pricing, right? Are you clear about your pricing? Like, do you, if someone calls you and say, hey, Stephanie, I have I'm thinking about working with you. What is your pricing? And you stop and you're stuck. You don't know. You should know what your pricing is. That's that's business 101. You should know that out the rip before you start selling to people. Like, your price starts at a certain end. So Jeff Short said, but those high end places have proven track records. So I think it's unfair to compare it to a startup business. No, Jeff, I'm not comparing that. What I'm saying is this, is that when you believe enough in the services and your products, you could, I'm not comparing anybody to the high end stores, but when you have a business and you believe in your business and your brand and it's of value, you know it's of value and you deliver on that, right? Because again, it doesn't matter if you're a startup, if nobody knows who you are. I'm Stephanie A. Wynn, and I know for a fact the experience that people get when they come through our program it meets well beyond Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I'm just gonna keep it 100. That's just how much value that I know that I bring to the table. So all I'm saying is that you got to be clear on your price. You can't haggle people on their price. People's prices are their prices, and they either pay it. You either pay it or you don't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, your price is your price. Yes, Gucci and Louis, they've had their name out here, but it take a while. It took them years to build up a brand, right? Same thing in business. It takes time to build up a brand. But if you believe in your brand, your book, your brand, or your business, people are going to come and they're going to pay it. If they don't pay your price, it's okay. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. That's just not your client. That's why I'm saying this last question. Are you clear about your pricing? Because a lot of times, and I've heard this in a lot of meetings, and I've sat at a lot of tables with millionaires and billionaires, where when you underprice your products, some people don't like to do business with you because they feel like it's too cheap. So you have to be able to sit at the table and deliver. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be this Sharpie. You could sell me this Sharpie, right? Why would I want to buy this Sharpie? Well, I'll tell you why. I will buy this Sharpie because number one, it's red. And when I write with it, it is going to be permanent. It's permanent marker. So when I sign my name in my books, it's going to always be there. And guess what? This Sharpie has a fine point tip on it. I love fine point tips because it helps with, you see where I'm going with this? So see, I could sell a Sharpie. I could sell a pen, right? But I believe in this Sharpie. Same thing I'm telling you about your business. Believe enough in your business that when you show up, whatever services or product that you're selling, you show up and you're clear on it and you have the confidence to know that you can do this very thing. I don't care if nobody has never heard of you. It doesn't matter. We got to get out of our own way. We got to stop this imposter syndrome. That's the new trending word. Imposter syndrome is nothing more than a lack of confidence. It's a lack of self-esteem, right? So Don't worry about what the people that everybody's not going to be your client. They're not. You got to be okay with being told no. And so, with that being said, I want you all to understand, be clear on your pricing, right? Do not reduce your pricing just to get the sale, right? You should know who your ideal client is before you start selling to the people, right? You got to believe in your price, because if you don't believe in it, how do you expect other people to believe enough into you to buy what you're selling? Doesn't matter if it's a book, it's a brand, or if it's a business, right? And do not get offended when customers do not buy from you. Don't get offended. Keep it moving. Keep going. You got to keep going, right? So I want to leave you all with that. I want to thank you for tuning in this afternoon to give you these 3 tips when customers cannot afford your price. Number 1, you're not going to get offended. Number 2, you're going to create a list of simple questions to ask. Remember, what is it that you're wanting to accomplish? Specifically for my service-based businesses, what is it that you're attempting to accomplish? What's getting in the way of you accomplishing this very thing? How are you going to get to the next point on this journey? Like, what are you going to do to get to this, to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? So then you also want to know who your ideal client is. We talked about that, right? Do you believe in your price? Do you believe in it? You believe in your price? Who is your ideal client? Your ideal client is the people who are most likely to buy into what you're selling. Jay Chan said 100. Don't water yourself down to please people that's not your target market, right? So again, you got to believe in your price. You got to believe in your business. You got to believe in your brand. If you don't believe enough in your book, your brand, or your business, how do you expect people to believe enough in to buy what you're selling, right? I am your girl, Stephanie A. Wynn. Thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing like 30 days of tips because I want to help my people with their business, their brands, their books. I want to give a shout out to Jaquise Spikes. She is about to publish her book. I'm super excited about her. She is really amazing. So thank you all for tuning in. Latasha, Nikki, Jay Chance, Jeff, Tisha, tag, share with your friends. Eric Campbell. Hey, Campbell. So again, I'm just super excited to be, in the building, be amongst the living. So you guys be safe out there, protect yourself. And if nothing else, remember, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself first. I'm Stephanie A. Wynn. Till next time. Bye.